So here we are, we've had our factory tour and now we're over at Thornock Golf Club at the Ping National Fitting Centre as they look to try and get rid of these Titleist clubs out of my golf bag and put in a set of Ping. Let's see how the fitting goes. Okay, so we're in the Ping studio. Nick, thanks very much for having me today. So let's get ahead of it. Let's get onto the Ping fitting.
Okay, thanks Alan. So first things first is you're a golf pro, Alan.
Yes.
I've seen you hit a few warm-up shots there, so I can see you swing it nicely. Your clubs currently are Titleist.
T100Ss, yeah. T100Ss.
That's sort of like a bladed type.
Yeah.
And sort of the model you're wanting to go sort of down that line?
Yeah, I've typically never been a player that kind of wants to go down that kind of big chunky head. I have got a few issues in distance control. It's been something that I've always struggled with.
Okay.
I tend to get one that tends to get a bit hot and a bit fiery with these. And definitely one thing that I've noticed more so in the summer than I do in the winter is actually in the longer irons I really struggle to stop the ball on the greens. So I really seem to struggle getting 5-iron, 4-iron to actually hold a green at the distance I want to hit it. So there's a kind of couple of issues. And as I'm not playing as much as I used to now, I'm definitely, and me and Chris have had these conversations many a time in fittings, it feels like this is quite hard work. Yeah, I'm finding that I haven't got as much forgiveness as maybe I'd like. So something that looks like this, in terms of the kind of compact head, but something to help me definitely.
Okay. Potentially two clubs spring to mind initially is sort of the Blueprint S, which is more of a bladed golf club, but it has got a little bit of cavity there, so it's got a bit of forgiveness, and the I230,
okay,
which again, that tends to be the sort of the precision club category.
Okay. Perfect.
So yeah, let's go ahead and
hit
a few shots, yeah.
So I've typically always played with, I've had Project X for a number of years. Weirdly though, I've never really enjoyed the shaft.
Right.
As bizarre as that sounds. So I've always felt that I've had to found it quite hard. I've found it quite, when you're playing 4, 5, 6 times a year, it feels like it's quite hard work. It's okay in the start of a round, but at the end of a round, it is quite difficult.
So it feels a little bit stiff,
yeah.
Feels a bit heavy?
Yeah.
We send out a screwing cap, but it's only a plastic cap with a barcode on it.
Typically shot as well, from my perspective, is I've typically, so when I was younger, I was used to hit a little fade. I really struggle in keeping the ball on the golf course on the right. Now, as I got older, maybe I got lazier. Left is just left. I'm constantly fighting, and when we get to driver, you'll understand left. It really goes, and I can't get it back.
Don't worry about them. We can delete. We can always delete really bad shots.
Yeah. So unless you go, I'm going to use that. So, yeah. So
that sort of shot.
That's the sort of shot you're talking about.
And do you know what?
Start
I can
left,
almost
go further left.
I just goes, and I'm constantly fighting it.
So all the specs are on there. So like I said, if you obviously have a check with the guys
Okay. Fine. So the first start of the fitting process is to try and get an understanding of the club setup for you.
Okay.
So how tall are you?
6'2".
6'2".
and a half.
Okay.
Half's important.
So the next thing we're going to do is measure your wrist to floor measurement, and then we'll sort of compare that to the colour code chart, and that sort of gives us a bit of a starting point.
Okay.
So just standing my arms at your side, nice, relaxed, looking ahead. Very good. So 6'2" and 38.5 inches is your wrist to floor measurement.
Okay.
So if we compare that to that colour code chart,
yep,
that gives us a laying and length that we're going to be looking at as a starting point.
And this is a standard procedure for ping, and this is their starting
Absolutely,
point.
this is always
everyone does the same.
Everybody goes through this procedure.
Okay, perfect.
Just through years of research and you know, all of the millions of fittings that we've done, that we find that this colour code chart is incredibly accurate as well as with an end product.
And it means that I guess when I'm going to hit some product in a minute, I'm kind of in the right ballpark spec-wise.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
So you was 6'2",
Yep.
and a half, as you
Half,
said.
yeah, go down the middle.
All right, and then you're 38 and a half. So we intersect those two, and that tells us silver lie. However, plus ½ inch. However, it's outside of this shaded area.
Okay.
So this is what we want to make sure is you're in this shaded area, which is an average wrist to floor measurement.
Got you.
And so what I would be looking at is going actually a little bit longer until you get into cross-section that. And you're right on that borderline between ½ inch and an inch.
Yeah.
So I'd possibly look, I mean, the irons we have here are all +½ or +1 inch.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go +1 inch, but I might think about +3/4 with you, depending on what you've currently been using.
Yeah, so Titleist irons that I've got, weirdly, I used to be an inch all the time. Used to be an inch all the time. And with this set of irons that I got about a year ago, 18 months ago, we actually knocked down to 3/4.
Okay.
We actually went down to 3/4.
Okay, so
pretty good.
Yeah, what you've done is exactly what we're finding. Yeah, which is what the chart is saying.
Okay. So inchish longer, 3/4 longer, and then that moved the colour code, right? So when you went across there,
yes, it does. Yeah. So actually, 38, you're just into white colour code, so 3 degrees upright.
Brilliant.
But that's not the finished, obviously, the finished colour code.
No. Okay.
So let me just get one of our clubs to begin with.
So what's really good about the process here at Ping, and while Nick's picking up some irons, is that you get to hit outside, down a driving range, and more importantly, you get to hit real golf balls on track, man. So the data and the feedback that you're getting is absolutely phenomenal. So what have we got here? First one.
So first club we're going to try, Blueprint S. I've gone with a shaft that's similar to what you use. It's not actually the Project X, it's the Project X LS 6.5. I've not gone with the Project X 6.5 simply because that's an upcharge shaft. It is available if you want to, and we can hit it in a little while. But bear in mind, you actually said, I find that hard work, I'm not overly keen on it.
Yeah.
So let's start with this.
Absolutely.
First process really, I'm going to look at shaft.
Okay.
First process is lie angle. I'm going to then move into shaft, but I just want to look at lie angle.
We start adding loft on, taking loft off, you're going to start seeing that ball moving around quite a bit.
So Blueprint S, obviously, the Blueprint S and T new out this year.
They are.
Been very popular.
Incredibly so. Yeah.
We've done a couple of reviews on them already, and I must say, I think it's one of the best looking Ping forged irons I've seen in a decade.
Yeah, we've had such good, feedback and from the fittings with that level of player. You got to remember it's
a niche market, right?
The level of player that you're fitting every time. So it isn't going to be one that's for every player.
No.
But when you get to that low handicap, good club.
Every time I've hit this iron, it feels so soft off the face.
I need to come a bit closer to try and see the ball flight.
You might need some binoculars to see how far left it's going.
Yeah, I thought it was going a bit left. And again, we've gone probably something a little bit more upright than you used to, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, typically, so if I go back to when I was playing properly, it would have been 1/2 inch longer, 2 degrees upright, standard. In the Titleist, I've actually only gone to standard lie. And I don't know whether that's a net effect of me constantly swinging and missing left, and kind of, because I'm not practicing and playing, I don't want something that's going to hurt that. So
We saw that going left. Let's just have a
that's
look at
big left, yeah.
So look at the impact board, Mark. Obviously, it's quite an effective way to see on lie angle. Predominantly, we will look at ball flight.
Yes.
When we're fitting, we're looking at the ball flight, and as you said, it's going a long way left.
Thank you.
So just going to hit off the impact board, of course. I mean, I can see that's going a long way left, and from the mark, we're seeing that it's way down the heel.
Yes.
So although statically you fit it a little bit longer,
Yeah.
and white colour code, the way you deliver the club to the ball, you're coming in with heel first. So we're going to want to go a lot flatter.
Okay.
When you were saying that you were plus 1/2 inch, 2 degrees upright,
Yeah.
of course, when you go longer in the shaft, that makes the club play more upright as well.
Yeah.
So what you said by going flatter does make a
Yeah,
a
so
lot
gone
of
longer
sense.
and flatter on.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make a sort of a big shift on this and,
Okay.
and go to something you've been used to before.
Okay, so we're going standard or?
back at standard, yeah.
Okay,
So I'm going to
brilliant.
drop it unusually 3 degrees.
Yeah. Thank you. So obviously the beauty of all Ping product, and it's a big shift for you guys as well, this going to the screw through the head rather than the screw around the neck.
Yeah, I mean, it's making fitting a lot easier. Okay, just change the tag of the club. Yeah, with 3 colour codes on one head now, so
It makes life a lot easier.
it does. Okay, straight away you can see that ball.
Massive
flight's
difference,
completely
isn't it?
different, isn't it?
Massively different. Higher as well, isn't it? Yeah.
This is a longer shot, I can see it.
Yeah.
Head feels fantastic.
You like the feel of the head?
Really like the look and the feel of it. It's really, it's difficult for me because I've tested this head and it just looks so good. That was the one.
See, that's a good swing. Looking at the ball flight, I'm just seeing a nice flight now. I'm not getting that sort of swinging that you see where it's going left and
Well, I haven't lost 3 of your Pro Vs over the net.
straight away.
They're
And
big
you can see your dispersion as well. You had one that was a little
little
bit
bit,
there,
yeah.
but generally they're a lot straighter.
Really good that. I like that.
So what I want to look at now is a little bit of shaft flex. If we look at your ball speed,
Yeah.
you've got Project X65. You've got really good ball speed up here. If you look at an average ball speed is 127. With that, actually, you see your ball speed went up when you want a better lie angle.
Yes.
So you're
more
averaging
than
at 127. So that straight away to me tells me that I want to be in that extra stiff flex profile.
Yeah.
Now, type of shaft. Extra stiff comes in lots of different ways. You do heavy ones, we do light ones. So
Yep.
it's a little bit comes down to feel and what you're.
I'm glad you said that
feeling
because
like.
same thing for me as my own is that although it's not exactly the same shaft, it's in that family, and this still feels really, really heavy to me.
Feels heavy.
Yeah, and I used to play. So I used to go once we got away from Dynamic Gold, the old style Dynamic Gold. I was really a Nippon guy. So I ended up with Nippon X and Nippon S. So that really felt just that bit lighter, 105, 110. And I remember going for a fitting 10 years ago and they did exactly that. They reduced the weight because I feel like I have to throw everything at it when I've got too much weight.
Okay. Let's try a little bit lighter.
One more.
So this is Nippon 105.
This is the 105X, yeah.
It's about 20 grams lighter than Project.
Quite a lot lighter.
Yeah. So immediately as I get it in my hands, it feels 10 times better. It just feels so much softer through the ball.
Sound was good on that.
Yeah. Good ball speed again.
Yeah, 128 and a half.
Just, I feel like I've got it under control. Like immediately, as soon as it's that little bit lighter, I don't feel like I'm having to throw the kitchen sink at it. That was a bad swing. That was me. Doesn't matter which national fitting centre you go to, when you swing it bad, it definitely is you. That's actually, it's as bizarre as that sounds, that's actually really nice to see.
You like
Ball
that?
go to the right. As bonkers as that sounds, but I just don't feel like I'm having to, when it's so heavy, I feel like I'm having to throw the club head at it.
Right.
And I think that's not helping the left. I know there's technical elements, but I just feel like that extra weight in the shaft.
Makes a lot of sense.
He says toe in the next one.
I like the shape of the ball.
That feels great.
How about
really
height on it?
Yeah, I like it.
You like the height?
Yeah. I don't want to see a ball go too low.
Okay.
And
Because the only thing is we're just spinning it a little bit much, I feel.
okay,
You spin rates up there anyway.
not unusual for me.
So what I'm wanting to try is just try a little bit stronger loft. So going what we call power spec.
Okay, so what does that actually mean?
So it just is reducing the loft
Okay,
of the golf club. So
1 degrees, 2 degrees.
it varies throughout the set.
Okay.
That's why we call it power spec rather than 1 degree.
Okay,
As a golfer, you could set the lofts to however you wish.
Yeah.
You know, we publish the lofts of our club, so 7-iron of this is 33 degrees. I'd have to look it up because I don't know all the lofts off the top of my head of all our clubs, but power spec in this will go stronger than 33. I suspect, I think it's 31 and a half, but
right.
I'm not sure.
Quite an interesting
100%
change.
certain.
It blends. Is that just to make
Just
sure that
blend.
it blends through the set so you don't get these huge gaps?
Exactly, blends
Yeah.
through the set, and also when you get to your longer clubs, your 3s and your 4s, it's not going to be ridiculously
Makes
strong.
sense. You can't get it in the air.
Yeah. That's the other beauty of these new heads, is that we've got a power spec option on there.
Really?
Yeah. So we can just move it to power spec.
Bigger head, the elongated.
And actually in this, the power spec option is even a touch flatter still.
Which probably helped me.
So yeah, it's with that shot left. So it'd be interesting to see what the flight of this is like.
So with this then as well, what you're expecting to see is that this is really to go after the spin rate on there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's not. So quite often, again, when we're in the store and the guys are fitting, when you talk to customers about changing loft, I think naturally, obviously, irons over the past 10 years have got stronger and stronger and stronger. When you start talking about power specs and strengthen, their instinct is it's going to go lower, it's going to go further, and some players actually don't want that. So, but this is really to go after one specific part of the TrackMan's telling us.
Yeah, just again, it's you as a player. You know, you're a good player. You swing it good. The flight is good. That's why I said, do you feel that's high? I'm not saying it's high or low. It's just interesting to know what your feeling is.
Yeah, I think the height-wise is quite nice, but I would say I've had a history of getting a spinny ball flight in a 7-iron.
Yeah.
Oh, that was just a bad swing. Oh, yes. That's nice. That's a nice flight.
See, that's no lower, is it, that one?
Not lower, the spin's dropped. It was 7-7.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it has dropped.
taking a little bit off.
That's a better flight, Eric. What did you do from there?
Distance-wise, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, 172 carry.
just feels good, that. And that wasn't a great strike.
It's interesting you say it wasn't a great strike. Your ball speed was 132.
Wow.
Which tells me that
It was a good strike.
it wasn't bad.
That was lovely. Like, seriously good.
I mean, that ball speed.
Spin's dropped. Spin hasn't really changed, but distance has jumped a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the dispersion, we know that. In fact, take that first one out that you said was just
That was just a bad swing.
was just a bad swing.
Yeah.
It is wearing on the bag and the shot.
So by turning this into power spec, and you said it flattened the line, what kind of, we went from standard before, is it just like a half a degree little shift, tweak, or is it going fully in when you've changed it to power spec in this
1
feed
degree.
club?
So it's down at red. So from black, we were on black, I've just gone 1 degree flatter.
Okay, now that is interesting.
The power spec options, we can't have every colour code at power spec on the head. So,
but it's interesting that 1 degree flat is actually performing really well.
But I was happy at doing that because of the shot that you don't like.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a bad swing again, but with the strike on these, I tell you what, the strike and the feel off of this is insane.
Change what you need to change. If we can get you that distance
Bit pulley, wasn't it?
that ultimately might make all the difference. Because we don't want to gain distance.
Oh yeah, such a good flight that. It's not going left.
No.
It just doesn't feel like it's going to go left.
I mean, if we look at your spin rates there, they are certainly on the previous one. You see, going lighter, the spin rates are going to go up a little bit.
Yes.
You know, because it's going to be a little bit more flexible.
And I think I've got to accept that, right? Like, it's the feel of me hitting it standard.
Yeah.
I've got to accept that I can't have all the parameters absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
But that setup, whatever that setup is,
You like the feel?
really like the feel.
Okay. I mean, we look at dispersion. Your dispersion's really good as well, front to back. I know we've got a couple of left and rights, but
Yeah.
that's more golf swing. I mean, when you see left and rights, generally it's golf swing. If it's all one way,
Yeah, you
then
could
it
say
could
it's
be
close.
line angle.
Yeah.
You know, if it's all
Which
left,
is what we saw at the beginning.
Which is what we saw at the beginning.
Yeah.
As you can see, we've been shifting it more
Yeah, it's brilliant.
that
So
way.
what have we ended up with here?
So that's a red lie,
So 1 flat,
1 degree flat, power spec,
power spec,
modus,
Blueprint S, new Blueprint S head,
Yeah, but we've not tried one of the others yet, so let's try one of the others.
and 105X.
105X.
Come on, and let's see what else you've got for me.
Yep,
Same spec, 105X. And what head have we got here, Nick?
that's the I230.
So what's the difference between, I mean, without sounding daft, they're not too dissimilar in looks of iron. So what's the big difference between Blueprint S and 230?
So the 230's just got a little bit more peripheral weighting. So it's still in the precision iron category.
Yeah.
But it's just it's very slightly bigger. I mean, it's minutely.
Yeah.
A little bit more forgiving.
Looks a little bit, I mean,
A little bit chunkier.
just that little bit more, isn't it?
Just a tad.
Oh, that was dreadful. What a dreadful swing. Wow. That's popped up. That really popped up, didn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Is that what you would expect to see? I mean,
Yeah,
spin
launch
rate's gone the
angle
other way.
high. Little bit higher launch angle.
Yeah.
Don't leave it till like the week before because it's not up. So if you're going to come over, drop me an email a good month before you come over. I'm going to find something time.
I'm not sure when I'm looking at this, I feel as comfortable with the head in terms of the look
Yeah.
that I did with the S.
That right there, you can do that there. That's
I mean, it felt lovely, but just think, looking behind the ball,
You just work on your ball, getting that strike a little higher, you're going to gain your distance with what you've got. And then it's a double whammy, in it. You're getting that scope, your irons are going further.
similar.
Yes.
I think then you'll be able to.
So if you've got two irons that are so similar in terms of performance, from a fitting point of view, how are you guiding me as a player? Like, what's your go-to? Is it look, feel, or?
You're guiding yourself.
Okay.
I'm a little bit like an optician. I'm
Okay.
asking you the questions, and you're giving the answers as to what feels the best and what looks the best. So when you get two that are very similar
Yeah.
in performance and things, then I want to go with the one that you feel best with and you like the look of.
Okay, great.
Because it's, again, golf's a confidence thing, isn't it?
100%.
You've got to be confident.
Ay, ay, ay.
I know you say that felt awful, but it's gone touch up. It's not going horrendous before.
No,
as it was
it
before.
definitely isn't. It's so close, it's so tight. Would you ever blend these?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to show you next.
Okay. That was lovely. I think from a look, from a pure 7-iron, look for look, I'm all over Blueprint S. I'm absolutely, I'm fully committed. Where I see that working is I enjoy the feel equally the same. So I think I'd be interested your take on how I would blend that in the long run, because I think the only nervousness with Blueprint S would be the head in the 4-iron is going to be a bit tiny.
Yeah. The beauty of Ping is that we've got this Ping Copilot system, which is a system that helps fitters, and we can put all your data in, and what that'll do with it, and then we can ask it to recommend
Amazing.
a combo set. So let's do that next.
And everyone that comes in here to Gainesville would get this.
Yeah,
They get to
we
use it.
will go through this.
Amazing.
So we'll go through this gapping app, and this is going to help with your wedges as well.
Okay.
When we talked about wedges.
Yes.
So we've got two little apps on here. One is the wedge app
Okay.
that we'll talk to you about in a second, but also the gapping app. And this is where we're going to recommend sort of the right gapping for you.
Okay, amazing.
Because although maybe aren't looking at every golf club in the bag at this stage, we want to be looking at what you do want to use.
Yeah, 100%.
To get an idea of the right gapping. So what we do with this is we select the iron model that you like, the Blueprint S, number of wedges. So in your bag I see you've got, as well as the pitching wedge, you've got 3 wedges, so a 3-wedge system.
Correct.
And 60 is your highest loft. When you're happy with that?
Yeah.
And then your longest fairway wood is a 3-wood.
Yes.
Okay, so if we do a Copilot recommend here, you can see if we come down here, it's recommending a 4 and a 5 iron in your Blueprint S's.
Wow, that's
in
really
your
cool.
I230s.
Yeah.
And then 6 down in your Blueprint S's.
That's
So-
superb.
That's all based on those numbers.
That's brilliant. So, and then what's interesting there is it's recommending S59. What wedges was it into? So 50, 54, 60.
50, 54, 60, yeah.
Amazing. Okay. So in terms of now we're in the process, we've got this. I'm really happy with that recommendation.
Yeah.
230 Blueprint S. Is there anything else I need to do with the club? Is there anything?
So grip thickness.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit grip thickness. So again, that comes down to your hand size and how the club feels. So we'll just measure your grip thickness, hand size.
So this is again same thing. You do it similar to with the chart.
Exactly, same as the chart again as a starting point. So we're going to go 8 by 3 3/4. So that tells us 8 by 3 3/4. That puts us into top end of white to gold, which is a slightly thicker grip.
Okay.
Looking at what you're using at the moment is always a start. So you don't have a particularly thick grip.
No. So again, I'm on that edge of mid-size, and I've hated mid-size. I've tried it, right?
So you don't like mid-size.
Hate it.
Right.
Hate it. So I'm with those. They're one layer. That's all they are.
I mean, from a grip point of view, again, because you're an experienced golfer, I'm going to stick with something that you're used to. I'm not going to say to you, I want to go something a lot thicker.
Yeah.
Because I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing anything that would make it. The clubs you have got to feel comfortable to you as well.
Yes.
So again, I would probably stay at standard thickness, because you are right on the borderline with your hand size, but then just go with maybe an extra layer of tape.
That's what I'm used to. I think it's really important, because every time we seem to do some content and videos in studios like this, one of the things that bit of feedback we constantly get is that the player is sometimes concerned that the fitter's going to ram down their throat the precise nature, whereas exactly what you're saying today, it's about actually, come on, we've got to work with you with your feels, your preferences. It's actually what you're used to as much as what the data's saying, and somewhere between there is something that's going to perform really nicely.
Yeah. Bear in mind, we're judging the player that we're fitting.
Yeah.
Some players, if they're more of a beginner, you may be guiding them a little bit more. So you're looking at the player that you're fitting. As I say, with you're with the best will in the world. You're fitting yourself. I'm not fitting you.
Yeah.
You're fitting yourself. All I'm doing is giving you the tools to go, oh, yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that. So because you're repeatable as well, you're repeating things. I just have to know my product and make sure I know I'm giving you the product that's going to get you to go, oh, yeah, I like that. So, which is pretty much what we've done.
We've got this mega combo set now.
Yeah.
I230s, Blueprint S.
Yeah.
Wedges.
Wedges. So S59. So this is looking at the wedge app that we developed. So again, we're going to ask you a few questions. So we're going to ask you players' average score. I can see.
Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah,
less than 75.
Let's see how many comments we get on YouTube on that one.
Yeah, I know you're not playing very much, and through lack of playing, your scores are going to go up, and you do lose your ability to score sometimes.
Yeah.
But actually, the way you swing it and your shape of the swing, you can see that you're a good player.
Can hit it, yeah.
So you pitching wedge. So I can see that you've got a 44-degree pitching wedge. Has that set at 44, or has it been strengthened?
Just standard.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put in 44 degrees. And what distance do you hit your pitching wedge? Do you know?
150.
150. Yeah. You hit your pitching wedge.
145.
145. Okay, so again, it's going to ask what your highest loft wedge is. Right, typical turf conditions of where you play.
I only ever play in the summer now, so let's go with medium and varies. It is the British summer, so medium and varies.
That's what we want the answers to be, as to where you would normally play. It's no good me saying to you now at the end of a long, wet winter, what's your turf conditions? Oh, it's soft, because that's typically not when you're going to play.
Definitely not.
And your typical divot depth?
With a wedge.
Shallow, medium, deep?
All of them.
On a decent
normal,
shot, a normal shot.
Medium.
We all hit bad shots.
Yeah.
And typical sand conditions. Again, sometimes can be difficult.
A medium. I've played some decent courses and whatever, but yeah.
So this is a good one. What's your preferred pitch shot technique? Do you like to, when you're pitching, do you like to open the face a little bit? Or
yeah, I do. I really struggle with square. I really, really struggle with square.
And where's your typical ball position? Do you have it middle to back or middle to forward?
Front.
Middle front. Right. So with your most lofted wedge, so your 60-degree wedge, what's your highest priority of those options?
Let's read them. Optimizing. I think I would either say versatility around the green or protect against fat shots. So I'm going to go versatility around the green.
And so your next most lofted wedge, so you're 54.
Fat shots, all day long.
Fat shots?
Yeah, protect against fat. That'd be like number one. It sounds daft, but I can, yes.
Okay.
We're going there.
So that's given us a little gap, optimising your grinds and giving you finalised results. So that's telling us with a 60, it's recommend a thin sole.
Wow, okay.
But with your 56, recommended the H grind. It does give alternatives there, so if you're a little bit unsure. So what we can do is we can have a look at both of those anyway.
Okay.
In a 60.
Amazing.
Look at thin sole, we can look at standard sole.
Yeah.
And then we can look at an H grind.
And a W grind.
and a wide sole or a W grind.
Great.
And it just gives you little distances there, look, so you can see that.
How many UK drivers have?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, again, distances for me, I'm a player that tends to, I don't really like hitting wedges flat out. So I want a wedge that I can manipulate, play 3/4 shots for. So if it's a 56, if it's 105, I'm more likely to grab my 52 or 50 and play some little 3/4 pitchy ones rather than stand and smash a 56. It's just how I am. So
interesting. It's the recommendation here, which I've not seen before, but then I haven't always done a 44-degree pitching wedge. You know, generally ours. I'm not saying they all are, because I know we do stronger pitching wedges, but when we get calibre of player that you are, 45 tends to be a little bit more common. It's still recommended 4 wedges on top of your pitching wedge. So you can see 48, 52, 56 and 60. Based on that 145, it's saying, I haven't put any figures in into the wedge app of your launch condition, so I'm not saying that would be correct.
So we could fiddle around with it a little bit.
You can absolutely fiddle around with that a little bit, because as we saw from Copilot, on your gapping, when we put your figures in, it's saying with 3 wedges, 50, 54, 50, 50, I can't remember.
50, 54, 60.
50, 54, 60, yeah.
Okay, brilliant.
Okay.
So let's have a look at this T grind.
This is actually a orange lie, so it's even flatter still.
Yeah.
And then generally, with good players, I'd want to try and make sure we get.
And that's when we're talking about face plane tilt, right? Is the more loft, and this is what some guys don't really understand, is that the more loft we have on a golf club, the more upright the lie, the more the direction's going to point left.
Yeah.
So the one most destructive shot with a wedge is long left, right? Everyone's trying to fight against that. So the flatter you can make a wedge, typically out of your normal set, 1 to 2 degrees sometimes difference. Normal set of irons.
Yeah.
Not only does it maybe get the start line a lot straighter, what it'll also do is hopefully maintain the loft on the wedge as well.
Yeah.
So
and also give you a little bit with that heel relief as well.
Yes, which I'm going to need, aren't I?
Yeah.
So typically I'll always want to set up slightly open. That feels lovely. And we said it before, didn't we, that this can really be a competitor and should be a competitor against any Vokey or any other wedge brand. Just feels good, that. Shaft?
Generally, I would stick to the same. There's an argument again for very, very good players that you may want to not go as stiff sometimes because you're not hitting it flat out.
Yeah.
So maybe for a 60, you possibly would do that.
Yeah, I've done that in the past, and I made an error in those and got the wedges, and I definitely the same shaft, and I definitely feel that just having that little softer in the wedges, because like I said earlier, I do want to just play soft, flicky, pitchy shots.
If you're not hitting it flat out, then absolutely. If you're not, you're generating what your 93, 94 club head speed with your 7-iron with a full swing. Well, if you're hitting a full swing on a sand wedge or a 60, I would still recommend that. But you're not doing that. I can see you just
little flicks,
just little softer shots.
I'm all in on the tee.
Yeah.
Anything that gives me that ability to heel toe relief and open it up, that's the one.
Okay.
So wedge section then is going to end up with, I think we would go with Copilot's recommendation, 50, 54 and...
In an H grind.
In an H grind. I'd go with that because that felt great.
Yeah.
So we're going to end up then with our
T in the 60, H in the 54, which I can let you have a quick go with.
Yes, please. So this is H?
This is H, but in a 58. So you can see there's that half moon grind.
Is that what the H stands for?
Yeah, a half moon. And again, from what you're saying, where you want a little bit of heel relief or toe relief, it sounds like it's going to be the ideal one for you.
So that extra little bit, this would be in the mid wedge, right?
That's in the 54, yeah.
Yeah. So what's nice again, when you lay it down, it just, I can play with it. Same sort of lie angle, flatter again.
Yeah.
Thin it again. Come on.
Now, again, with the AFS one, I'd given you an inch longer shaft.
Yeah.
Whereas that one was just off the shelf, so that's the first shot thinning it makes perfect sense.
Can't find the ground.
Yeah. You adapt fairly quickly, there was a good player.
Just feels great. The wedge app certainly has got it right this time. Oh.
That sounded good.
Spinny, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Let's put that in the bag.
Perfect.
So there we go, guys. There's my iron and wedge fit using the fantastic co-pilot that Nick has fitted me to a combo set of I230s and Blueprint S with some S159 wedges to go along with it. It's been an absolute pleasure being in here doing my iron fitting, but we haven't stopped there yet because now we're going to do the dreaded driver.